Yeah, just speak loudly. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
ScoopTalk, Hugh, Kellenberger, Dustin, Dopirak. The IDS is Greg Rosenstein.
Making his ScoopTalk debut.
ScoopTalk, it's a special day for the young man.
Nathan Hart and Ryan Winter are
Welcome
so
him.
jealous right now.
So somewhere they're going,
How did we miss that? Anyway.
All right, guys. Let's talk about this win. As miraculous as a comeback as you can have against a Division II foe during an exhibition game.
That wasn't supposed to be that exciting. Definitely
not supposed to be that exciting at all.
No.
Greg, what do you think caused IU to avoid the upset?
What kind of to avoid the upset?
Yeah.
I mean, Victor Oladipo's late heroics in this game.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much took it upon himself to win that game. I mean, with the 4-point play, that was pretty unbelievable. He sank the free throws, which for a freshman, poise is. I mean, that was big. And then he came back on the next possession for Ferris State and blocked the ball, which is another really good play. So he was huge down the stretch there.
And you know, like you said with the poise, I mean, he got beat at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Real bad. I mean, I guess he got stuck on a screen and crossed up, and the guy pretty much, I think it was Kenny Brown, the point guard from Ferris State, had a wide open layup. I mean, just had nobody in front of him. I don't know why nobody helped out underneath, but I mean, nobody even saw him. He was cruising for an easy layup, and Oladipo, you know, after getting beat that bad, got it back together and, you know, jumped as he does. You know, the guy can really get up and manage to make that block.
Yeah, I really think the underrated part was that he made the 4 free throws before the 4-point play. You know, that just to allow. That got them to the point where that 4-point play mattered.
Exactly.
Got them to the point where the last possession mattered. They were down 10 for most of the second half. They were out of this game, and they got back in the game at the line. They, you know, it's kind of lost in the shuffle is that they were not very good offensively.
Oh, not good at all. What was interesting that Crean said afterwards is that they had not worked against zones really at all at this point. Apparently, just the way he's
How much do we believe that?
Maybe to a certain extent. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of showed in the first half.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they didn't look good against it.
They obviously didn't execute.
Yeah, they couldn't execute at
But
all.
It's tough to tell. I mean, I basically what Crean is kind of saying that it's all about competition. It's all about defense. It's all about rebounding. Like, that's what they're doing all the time, and they're not getting in offense all the time. He said even during this game that they were working the zone plays, literally instituting them during the game.
Right.
In mid-game, they were actually just drawing up plays and installing them into the offense on the fly. So, I mean, how much, you know, is that definitely true? I don't know, but that's what he said. And they didn't look good. I mean, they really looked bad against the zone. And for a few reasons. I mean, one, they weren't executing well, but two, they just kind of had just bad personnel for it at the time. I mean, Maurice Creek, you know, typically, if he's healthy, is incredible against the zone, but he couldn't shoot to save his life today. And he still clearly isn't all the way back, and, you know, Crean made a point
and still had the green light.
Yeah,
that's the other part, is that Tom Crean has been so serious and so painstaking in making sure that every time he talks about Maurice Creek, he says he is not back.
Yeah.
Right.
Be patient, be patient, be patient. Well, then why are you allowing him to take 13 three-pointers?
It is an exhibition game.
I mean, he wasn't hitting early on, but you could tell that he was really starting to pick it up at the end. He made that huge three, which I think cut it to 6.
I think so.
53,
he did make
59.
2 huge threes, one towards the end of regulation and one in overtime. I mean, Oladipo energized him too. I mean, he looked really shaky. Probably, you know, I guess the second set of 20. You know, I wouldn't say the second set of 20 minutes. The first 10 minutes he looked okay. Between about the 10-minute mark of the first half and 10-minute mark of the second half, he looked particularly stiff and just wasn't moving around very well.
Christian Watford, quietest 25 points I've seen in a long time.
Heard of.
Yeah,
actually.
6 of 16 from the field, 11 of 11 at the line, adds up to 25 points. I think Christian driving to the lane, particularly, we saw the difference between Franklin and Ferris State.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He was not able to just kind of muscle his way in. He does have to, he put the ball on the ground too many times inside the paint. A lot of Indiana's players did. They did not move the ball, or they did not move without the ball, well, offensively at all. Without a player, not. They are college basketball players, or major college basketball players. There should be some understanding of doing something besides standing in a corner.
Yeah.
Jordan Holes was not Chris. Nobody was
really
Chris.
was
There were a lot of lazy passes. I can think of at least 3 from Jordan Holes tonight.
Yeah, Holes got picked, you know, and taken to the, you know.
I don't even know if they were lazy, as they just weren't strong enough.
Yeah.
A lot of floaters.
Right. Like, it wasn't like, it was, right. I don't think the effort maybe was lazy, but the execution.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, it's like, you're not sure how Jordan Hall is, of all people, who has the basketball, basketball IQ off the charts, throws a pass where, I mean, it's just like throwing the out route when you know the cornerback's about to jump it. Right. We all could kind of see, most cases with Jarrell Sanders, who was kind of inching up, and you could tell he was about to jump this picket and take it down the other end, and Jordan just didn't see it. It seemed like, and it was really surprising. Yeah. One big problem they had attacking the zone is they had nobody who could really attack off the dribble, who could really penetrate, force people to, collapse and make things happen from there. Jordan Hall wasn't really doing it well. Maurice doesn't have the speed to do it right now. You don't have Verdell Jones. He's on the sideline. And, Watford, really is...
couldn't get in.
Yeah. I mean, Watford's a guy you want driving in straight lines. He's not a guy that you want trying to cross people up. So really, out of all of them, there's nobody that can break you down off the dribble. And that was a major problem. And in addition, when Creek's not hitting threes, I mean, they just had literally no answer for his zone defense.
And early on, you could just tell that the energy was not there with IU, but it was with Ferris State from the beginning.
Very much so.
I mean, Ferris State had a couple guys that were a little bigger than Franklin College.
A lot bigger than Franklin.
Well, I mean, bigger as in like height. I mean, height, but bulkier. Yeah, they did. But I mean, you could just tell that they wanted it from the beginning, and IU didn't, and that was, I think, a lot of it early on.
Right.
Yeah, you could tell Franklin and Ferris State are two completely different teams. Franklin was a scrappy, this is Indiana sort of team. That we're going to move really well, and we're going to be feisty, and that's how we're going to try to beat you. And Ferris State was, we are men.
Yeah,
right.
There's a much bigger, Keenan. Yeah. There's a much bigger difference between D2 and D3 than there is between D1 and D2.
Right.
Especially between the top teams. I mean, a lot of cases,
academic issues force
a lot of kids into D2. D3 is non-scholarship guys. Period. I mean, those are guys who are good high school athletes that simply aren't genetically made to play at this level. D2 guys sometimes are. D2 guys sometimes have, that kind of ability. It just doesn't work out. Or they're a half step, slower. Whereas D3, they're a solid step slower.
That said, Indiana should not have let this game get to this point.
Oh, no, definitely not. No, they didn't play well. There's no argument for that. I mean, they did not play well. They did not do things smart, and they just didn't handle the zone well. They didn't defend particularly well in the first half. I mean, Ferris State, shot 59% from the field.
Yeah, guys,
first half.
Put yourself in Coach Tom Crean's mind right now. You have till Friday to prepare your team for the season opener. What is the one thing you have to work on more than anything else between now and Friday?
Rosie?
I mean, it's difficult just because you don't really know where this... I mean, this team has changed so much in the last week. I mean, I think with Matt Roth out, you don't know how long he's going to be gone.
That doesn't look good at all.
No. And Verdell is still out. No one really knows his status.
Day to day.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pinpoint one spot. What would you say, Dustin?
Well, I mean, they obviously now have to get to the point where they do install some offense. I mean, they've been doing this whole competition in defense and rebounding thing. I mean, they got to get crisp at some point. Obviously, you understand where he's kind of coming from with this whole idea, but tonight they did not look organized against the zone, and they have to be able to do that pretty fast.
And I agree with you, Dustin. I wrote in my column that Crean really credited the great defense for leading to the offense, leading to the comeback, and that's all well and good. But you still have to be able to run a set.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, you still have to be able to just make a basket when you need to make a basket, and not have to rely on just a stirring comeback or steal and fast breaks. It just doesn't work that way.
Like you said, there were a lot of
the defense needs to be the key for this team, and he's right. I mean, that should have been emphasis number one.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's still a lot that isn't installed, it's got to get installed.
But the good news is that this is a better team. I mean, you're not rolling over a team like Franklin College, so it prepares them better for the season. I mean, I don't think
this
Ferris State team is
probably going to be
Franklin.
better than a lot of the teams they're going to face in the first month.
At least there's a couple players, maybe not at the depth, but Justin Keenan's going to be a better than anybody on pretty much every team they play in the month of November.
Yeah, maybe not Wright State, but that might be about it.
Just about right.
Yeah.
And I mean, remember, this Wright State has 10 new kids on it.
Right.
There's a reason why Brad Burnell chose now to leave.
Right. Yeah.
But anyways, we'll talk about Wright State closer to Sunday. Florida Gulf Coast on Friday. Check out
the Zellerpalooza.
Zellerpalooza will happen at some point. Check out the Hoosier Scoop for Zellerpalooza news. You can also check out the newly revamped basket blog for Zellapalooza News, or follow Greg on Twitter.
Indeed.
We will perhaps follow Tuesday to let you know about Greg. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.